Howdy, y'all. Good day. How you going? We're taking a look at something pretty interesting and something I'm kind of jealous of, not going to lie. So let me give you some context right now. This is not, very usual. This is kind of a rare thing. The whole pretty much country of the United States, basically all of North America, is going through a wicked, polar, plunge, polar vortex. I don't know what they're calling it, but it's colder than normal, and this is reaching the deep south. This is reaching, Mexico. It's kind of crazy. Now, of course, northern Illinois, where I'm at, isn't the best climate. It's usually pretty cold and miserable in the winter for the most part, but it's really cold, really dry, and way below zero. And the crazy part is that kind of crazy cold temps has reached almost the whole country. And when I hopped on this weather app today, which I haven't done in a long time, I did it because it's obviously really wild weather right now. I also noticed somewhere else that has something extreme, but it ain't extreme cold. It's the exact opposite, as you would expect. I'm, of course, talking about y'all if you are watching from Australia. Bingo, it is hot as hell. Let's take a look. So, first of all, if you go here, actually, let me put you in this screen. Now, you can see the whole world, right? And what do you notice? You notice that the hottest place on Earth, at least from what I'm seeing, is indeed Australia. Now, I've seen this before. I've even covered this, I think, probably a couple, 2 or 3 years ago. But I really find it, hitting hard right now because I'm in the exact opposite situation. I'm in an extreme colder than normal country as a whole. Everyone's kind of suffering it is hella cold. I'm used to it up here, but I think a lot of people down south are probably complaining more and probably shocked. I did hear, I'll put some pictures up if I can find them. I did hear that it is snowing currently, which is unbelievably ultra rare in the deep south. It's snowing in places like Alabama, Louisiana. I mean, these places are right on the ocean, right? It is snowing in northern Florida, kind of in the panhandle area here. Florida and snow, I don't think you have to be an American expert to kind of realize when you see Florida on a map, yeah, that's weird. Florida's very warm and has the best winter climate in the U.S. by far. It's usually super warm and doesn't feel like winter. That's why people flock there. I don't think they're used to getting snow. I'm pretty sure that's a weird-looking landscape with beaches, palm trees, and snow. But regardless, that is the case. I have the temperatures in Celsius. See, I'm a good guy. I know who's watching, and most people would prefer Celsius. And as you can see up here in the northern Illinois area, look at this, -17, -18. Somehow, weather's weird like that, right? Somehow it's actually -19 way south in southern Illinois. In Indiana, it's even colder, -22 in southern Indiana, which is way south of where I'm from. Again, that's how weather works. It could be weird like that depending on how things flow and the jet stream and all that. But anywho, yeah, it is crazy out. You can see the blue, the whites, the purple is even colder. I don't know how y'all in Canada survive, but take a look at that. Holy smokes. If you're not in coastal Canada, I don't know how you do it. Look at this. Labrador City, -32, and that's Celsius. Wow. But yeah, I thought I'd share this. The only warm places left right now are extreme southern Florida. Of course, Miami, Boca Raton, Keys, the Florida Keys, and some other Caribbean nations. They're kind of untouched. Thank goodness for them. But even Texas, South Texas is just above zero, but that's still extremely cold for this area. West Texas, same deal. New Mexico, they're not used to being this cold. Most of Arizona, the only places retaining some decent temperatures are southern Arizona and southern California. That's about it. The cold creeping in high elevation areas of Mexico, by the way, if you didn't know, these are very high elevation, mountainous places, so it kind of makes sense that they're colder. It is still, regardless, weird to see. But yeah, then you hop on across the water. I mean, shout out to Hawaii, right? That is a state. Their weather looks nice. So, as always, they're kind of the star of the show if you talk about weather, especially right now for the U.S. at least. But yeah, we keep going down, and of course, look at the hottest place on Earth. And it's just so funny. I always kind of say this, but I think it's fun, right? I think it's cool to know that so many millions of billions of people wake up on this Earth, and we're all people, and we all wake up on the same planet. but our daily lives can be so different, right? You know, we have people waking up on these islands and their life is totally different than mine and probably yours. And then you have people waking up in Australia and your life is different than mine. I think it's so interesting and I think it's fun because this community on this channel is all about kind of making friends and getting a glimpse into each other's lives from across the world, right? And getting a glimpse into your life if you're watching from Australia, good on you, because maybe you don't like the heat, and we're talking extreme heat, right? I know, look, I'm not a Celsius expert, but I do know anything above, honestly, 30 is warm, but like 35, you're getting hot. If you're above 40, that's hella hot. That is like, holy crap, sounding the alarm's hot. So let me actually change this real quick to Fahrenheit, because Fahrenheit hits so hard for me when it gets into these kind of temps. Yeah, look at this. Inland Queensland, way in here, 113 degrees. 113. That's insanity. That's absolute insanity. That is extremely hot. Alice Springs, 106. We have places in Western Australia, everywhere, over 100. Even the coast, Perth, I consider a coastal city. It sure looks like it is. Somehow Perth is 100 degrees. Now, I know the coast is keeping it from going probably well into the hundreds, like these inland places. But, of course, Perth might be more mild, like these smaller towns, if it wasn't so crowded. But, of course, Perth is a big city, and we all know how big cities kind of get a heat island effect, and you can see it there because the surrounding suburbs way north and way south are nowhere near as hot, thank goodness. But, yeah, I find that super crazy. The only mild places to escape the heat look to be down in Victoria and extreme south New South Wales. Melbourne, I guess, might be known for right now, at least, milder weather, and some people might like that. Of course, Tasmania is a place to be in summer if you don't like the heat. So I just find that interesting. When you zoom out, you look at the whole map, you look at how most of the Earth is cold, because I know the Northern Hemisphere seems so big with all the land. Now, of course, the Southern Hemisphere being warmer, that makes sense. We know that because the seasons are different. But yeah, I mean, look at Africa, right? The southern part of Africa. Look at South America. Nowhere near as warm. And we can change the time, right? I know South America does get warmer depending on the hours. Now, we can change the time, but it's still not as uniform when it comes to the heat as Australia. It's kind of crazy because this time would be nighttime for Australia, and it's still hot. But yeah, we change it back to daytime for y'all in Australia, and look at that. It's just insane. What a wild place. Can we trade? That's my proposal. Can we please trade? I hope y'all are staying safe. I'm someone who does prefer extreme heat over extreme cold. I'm dealing with it. We're good here. Everything's good. I'm not even complaining, but if I were to choose, I do like heat. I'm a freak. I do like heat. Now, a lot of my family, they prefer milder weather or maybe even prefer cold over heat. My wife is like that, for example. But hey, everyone's different. I like the extreme heat. I would love to be in Australia right now. Get a cold beer, right? Be wearing, next to nothing, your summer outfit, when it's really hot. And just chilling, having a good time, staying cool. To me, that's a lot better than bundling up in multi-layers and you go out and like the car barely starts. You're like feeling bad for the car because it's making all these weird noises because it's so freaking damn cold. Yeah, I thought that was funny to show. This is kind of just a fun, different video, kind of a shorter video, but I had to post this because, again, this is relevant right now. I don't know if people would hear this on the news or not, but yeah, the U.S. going through an extreme cold front right now. And Australia looks to be, hot. I know it's always hot there, but I would say, wouldn't this classify as maybe somewhat of a heat wave? I would think so. At least to those temps, to me, look like a heat wave. Anyway, that's about it. I mean, leave your comments wherever you're watching from. How's the weather been, this 2025, this month, but especially maybe like the last few days. Because it's been wild. It's been wild for us. That's going to do it for this one. Hopefully I see you in the next one. I appreciate you watching. My name is Ian. You're watching IWrocker. Until next time, y'all. I'll catch you later.